As recently as yesterday actually, the Senate voted down a bill which would essentially increase background checks on a more federal level. Basically, that if you wanted to buy a gun at trade shows and private transactions, a background check would need to be performed in order for you to buy that weapon. The government, more specifically the Republican Party and some Democrats, decided that they were going to vote against this bill, and it was a really close vote. I mean, all they needed was like 4 more votes to have passed this bill. And essentially, once again, the conspiracy theorists and the gun lobby and a whole bunch of other morons decided to pressure politicians and put money in their pockets so that way, they would get a specific kind of vote. Now, for those of you who are fellow conspiracy theorists like I am, who are fellow truthers, let me see if I can explain something to you. A lot of you seem to believe that if you have a gun, you can stand up and fight against tyranny and a tyrannical U.S. government, thinking that your gun is going to make all the difference, where if you stockpile enough weapons, you'll be able to protect yourself from government martial law. That is not true. Anybody who is a conspiracy theorist knows that the government, and the military specifically, are decades ahead of any technological devices that are in the public use right now. Keep in mind, the internet was actually in use during the 1950s. We had the internet, only it was used by the military to communicate with each other. But, recently the internet came out into public use, and we have all of this access to information that we have today. A lot of the devices that we now use were originally military-grade applications. That being said, given the fact that the military has been experimenting with microwave radiation, drones, chemical, biological warfare, satellite technology, computer technology, do you honestly think that an AK-47 is going to make a damn bit of difference when it comes to standing up to the government? No. Your gun is not going to make a damn bit of difference. That's why you have your gun, because it's going to be insignificant. That is why you have the illusion of freedom to own your gun. That's why you still have a Second Amendment. Because if the government actually thought that your guns would actually make a difference and be used as a force for change in, the way the government does things, they would not have allowed it to begin with. Now, some of you say, well, we can join militias and we can, put together our resources. Yeah, that's nice. You can do that. But think about it for a minute. If what a lot of people in the truth movement are saying, and the government has devices like HAARP that can actually create, thunderstorms, tornadoes, earthquakes, and all sorts of other things, do you think that the government, if you became enough of a problem, would not send a tornado your way? They wouldn't want to get their hands dirty. You're thinking, oh, they'll probably just send in the Marines and we can persuade them. No, they are not going to send in the Marines. The Marines are the last thing that they're going to send to deal with you. Okay? If you're a conspiracy theorist, you will understand this, that the government spends more on military applications than China, Russia, and several other countries combined. We have technology that can basically, we have satellites that can pick out a mole that you have on your skin all the way up from space. Do you honestly believe that your pistol, that your AK-47, that your Bushmaster Mach 20 is going to make a bit of difference if you're going to stand up to the government? You think your puny little weapons are going to make a difference when you see tanks rolling down the street? And again, they don't need to send tanks. Did you see any of the energy-directed weapons that they were using against the Occupy Wall Street protesters? They use microwave, they use sound, they use all sorts of pleasant devices against the Wall Street protesters. And most of them were unarmed. Imagine what they will do to you if you have weapons. I want to let that sink in here for a minute. Imagine what they will do to you if they know you have weapons. Do you think that they're just going to calmly let you go about your business if you're threatening to overthrow the government? Do you honestly think that? Especially if you're stupid enough to broadcast it on YouTube? Really? You think they don't know about that? Use a little bit of this. It could actually save your life. This is Dumark the Artist signing off. Stanchini Falcha. Have a nice day.